Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say.
Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk on the Second Chance. My name is Philip Jones.
And I'm Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach people with stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease. If you or you know someone who has kidney disease challenges and needs to be coached, hit us up at kidneycarecoaches.com.
So today we're going to touch on something that's very important in the transplant community, which is the before and after of being a donor and donor family. And you know, a lot of people, we have a lot of these myths that need to be debunked pertaining to the transplant world, what happens when you are a donor, and things of that nature. So one of the first is we have two videos today that we don't own the rights to, that we want to show today to kind of get you to kind of understand what happens on both ends and why the second part is so vital. Oh, I'm sorry. The first part is very vital to what happens at the second video. These are two different families, but it all kind of sends the same message. The first video that we will be showing is about the honor walk, which is the walk.
Let the video explain it. Let the video.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm waiting on you to bring it up, so I kept talking.
My bad. I thought you was.
So just waiting on Mr. Cook to bring up the video, and we can go ahead and get started. Can you hit the full screen button, please?
just a couple of things to say to take a moment. Summer's family always said that she lived an amazing life and was always a hero to them. So what a blessing this is to be able to give life to somebody else. And so it's very powerful, and I think it's giving the gift of life to a lot of families, and it's very fortunate. And we grieve for the family, but we also thank Summer for giving this gift. So if we could just take a moment of silence.
All right, that was the first video. We'll wait for us to bring the other one up, but that was basically just kind of get you to understand the process and what somebody has to go through in those situations when a loved one is lost. But they take the time to honor people who decided to save someone else's life, because them as healthcare professionals understand the importance of being a donor, and they want to take that time to give that recognition to people who take the time to say, I'm not going to use these organs anymore, but somebody else may be able to. And is I say this a lot. It's unfortunate that we even have to watch loved ones go, and things like that. It's just, but that's life. It's part of it. I think most of us have dealt with that time where doctor probably didn't think he was gonna make it or wasn't sure how things were gonna go. I know I've been in that situation more than once where the doctor called my parents and said, "Hey, come say goodbye, because it's not gonna last long." I've had that conversation before. Well, my doctors have had that conversation with my parents before. So that's very important to show that recognition for a donor, especially when they still had the thought process to think of someone else in the event that they could lose their life. Granted, you do it because you're saying, when I leave here, I'm not going to be able to use them. So you're thinking 60, 70 years ahead of time, after you think you just lived this full life, living a great time with your family and your friends and things of that nature. And then you just kind of end up in the situation that you can't control. But could we go on that other video?
I'm meeting my donor family today. I received my heart on April 30th, 2017. I know his name is Rob, and he was 30 years old. And I would just like to hear about his life.
Just look at what we're doing today. I'm going to meet the recipient of my son's heart. He died on the job, and no one saw that coming.
He was just such a sweetheart, a real sweetheart. Very empathic, very kind, very loving.
I'm just very, very happy that I'm going to get to meet Elizabeth because in the end, I am sure if Rob was behind me, he'd tell me, go ahead and do this. Because that's the kind of guy he was.
I was just thinking about what I wanted to say to them. So, how thankful I am that they chose to donate life.
Hi.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
I'm Bob.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
So nice to meet you. I'm here because of your son.
So happy. So happy.
So happy to meet you.
It's my wife, Marla.
Hi, Mom.
I felt like I was going to lose it when I saw her, but it was very strange that when she walked in, I just felt a calm.
I want to thank you for the decision on that day. I wouldn't be here without
We're
Rob.
thrilled.
Absolutely. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's one of the greatest gifts I've ever received.
She's thanking me, and I feel like I should thank her.
For keeping
To
Rob
see,
alive.
yeah, for keeping Rob alive.
Do you want to listen to his heart beat? Yes.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. Should I listen to something?
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad I didn't break up too much, but it was exactly like holding him. It was. That's how it was. I miss it dearly.
I've been praying for you, for him. I've been able to live a full life. I've been able to live a life I couldn't have lived without it.
That's just a beautiful thing.
It is. It's tremendous.
Moments like this represent the sheer beauty and importance of organ donation. Seeing it from the family's perspective really highlights that these organs will live on. At Westchester Medical Center, we perform heart transplant, liver transplant, and kidney transplant. But in New York State, we have the most people waiting for organs, and we are the last in the country as far as the rate of organ donation. I only wish that more people would understand that vital moment, and that vital moment carries on.
Not everybody gets to help save a life. It's like we got a gift
That's how we
of
feel.
being able to keep Rob alive in some way.
I feel like I got another family member. I can't have my son, but I got the next best thing. I have him in her.
What's your thoughts, Mr. Cook?
I can't lie, man. I was watching that getting choked up. You know, it brought memories back. You know, what's crazy is I never forget the first time I went to the transplant game. And, I got choked up, man, because I was standing around, thousands of people just like us who got transplants, and they walking around looking good and healthy and feeling good, and it's a great time. And I was just really blessed to be in that situation at the time, man, because waiting so long with the unknown.
Right.
And I feel where you at, man, because my wait was like that. My wait was over a decade, and You just don't, you again, you feel like, no one threw you a lifesaver. They threw everybody else a lifesaver, but not you. You sitting out there. And, I can't lie. I got choked up seeing that. That pulled at my heart, dog. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I actually, I had the same exact experience. My first time at the games in 2008 in Pittsburgh. Uh, Again, I had never heard of the transplant games to maybe a year before or anything like that, right? There was never. I don't even think uh, I don't even think UCLA had ever heard about the transplant games before, because anything that they usually even heard of, they'll have pamphlets or flyers or something posted somewhere in the hallways and stuff, right? Like they used to have like tons of flyers for camps, kidney camps and stuff like that in the hallway and in the cases and all that stuff. Um and again, at that age, I'm not expecting, knowing what to expect in that situation. Um, when they pitched it to me, I was like 17 years old. Wasn't even sure if I was gonna be even able to go. I said, I want to go. I would love to. I'm like, but you gotta realize, I'm 17 years old. My only problem in this is financial issues. Like, it's not just something I can just write a check and keep on going. But then that's what I was having the awesome pediatric nephrologist that I had that you met, Dr. Edinger, who did our Why Not Symposium. Um, he went to bat for me and he talked to the people on campus and got them to pay for my stuff for the transplant games. But um, I remember when I got there, right? I remember getting an elevator, and there's nowhere that you can go without seeing a donor family, supporter, transplant recipient. Like, you cannot go anywhere without seeing somebody, especially like the next 2-3 days after day one, because somebody has on the medal or something, that shows you that they're there for the games. And where I got choked up was uh, opening ceremonies, because, like you said, when you realize exactly where you are and what you're there for, uh, and you walk into this open ceremony, this full arena, thousands and thousands of transplant recipients, supporters, donors, donor families, uh, in one place at one time. It was really big for me because, like I told you guys before, I had never even really known anybody that was a transplant recipient or anything like that until my transplant. So it was a very emotional thing for me. It took me a good 15-20 minutes to hold all those tears back. I was getting cry for like 30 minutes just because I was so stuck in the moment. It's an overwhelming experience. It's a
It
great
is overwhelming. It is overwhelming. Like you said, it's truly overwhelming. You're right about that. But one thing I do like, man, talking about these videos are, the that walk, that honor walk where they're honoring the lady who's about to give. That's special. That's special to everybody on that floor. Gives that salute because it's such a precious thing to do. A lot of times, people just die with these organs and don't even think about, being an organ donor and stuff like that, and having any kind of don't even have a recollection that people can use these organs. Like, that's why I tell people all the time, I'm an organ donor also. Even though I'm a transplant recipient, they can't use the kidneys, but they can use whatever they can use it.
right.
And the honor walk is great. And the reason why I say that's great is because who knows? Somebody might not have got honored in their life anything. They might not never played a sport. They might not have, been on a roll. They might not even got a ribbon. You might not have got nothing. There's people out here that's never never participated in anything whatsoever, and in that, but they get an honor walk in something like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's big, man. And the video it and everything that shows a lot of that shows they put a lot of emphasis in that, and that's it's like you're being a being an inspiration even in your death. You helping people even in your death to the max, to the max, to the max. Not with words, but your actions. By signing that donor card, you're helping people on your way out. You're leaving a legacy, and that's what we got to really tell people. We got to emphasize that they're heroes and they're leaving a true legacy that somebody could take an organ, just like that lady walked in. She walked in with Rob's heart. It, I keep it real. God forbid, I don't want nothing to happen to nobody I love. But if they became an organ donor and just like the dad said, we got the next best thing. We got the next best thing because he could sit there and listen to his son's heart. And if his son would have died, he wouldn't have had no piece of his heart or nothing of him. He would have had memories, but he wouldn't see a vital physical aspect, his heart beating. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm.
I feel for that dad because I would have been emotional as heck to, put my head there and listen to the heart, of somebody I loved and stuff like that. So that's big, man. And we need to emphasize not just telling people that they're gonna be heroes in giving, but that they're gonna leave a legacy, a true legacy. And the legacy they start is with the person they're helping who's gonna be healthy all of a sudden. That person's gonna get off whatever it is, the LVAD, dialysis, the lung machine, whatever it may be. That person is gonna get up and have a fruitful life. Now, whatever that person's life is, let that person's life is. That person ain't gotta go out here and do a song and dance. All that person got to do is just live and live happily because they got an organ. That's all I ask them to do. I don't ask them to, okay, now be on this group. No, no, no. I just want you to live because that's what God got you to do. God ain't tell you to do nothing else but live. And that's it. And that's all I want was somebody get an organ. And I'm happy with that. But again, you like, man, I can only, like being on that machine for all that time for me. And then, my donor Jackie coming to me being my organ donor. Man, she gave me a life, dog. I wouldn't even have got married. I wouldn't have had no kids. I wouldn't be sitting right here if she didn't do that. So that's big, man. To see something in you and look at you while you're helping other people. I'm just at my physical fitness gym training people. I ain't thinking about nothing. Out of the blue, man. I ain't even thinking about it. She comes to me like, I want to give you a kidney. And I'm sitting there like, what? But her saying that for some time, some people ain't playing. I knew she wasn't playing when she said that. She was real with it. But I don't want to talk about my story because I just want to talk about, the fact of giving. And I'm really glad that you got these videos. At first, when I seen them, I was like, "Dang, this video's gonna kill." This video's gonna make somebody, emotional and stuff. But I'm so glad you got those videos, man, because I think a lot of people need to see just those two. And I don't know, man, I'm still kind of I'm taken back by that. I can't front, man. That got
Yeah,
me.
it is. It's an emotional situation if you're that kind of person, right? Because you
Yeah,
have to
I'm that person.
understand
I
what you're
can't lie.
watching.
I'm that person. I lift weights and I'm that person, man. Hey, I'm that person.
Yeah, so it's and the other thing is this: what I want people to understand about the donation side, right? So yeah, not everybody's story ends up like Mr. Cook's or like the young lady that received the heart in the video we just watched, right? Where they have years on years on years after the fact of living a great life, right? Sometimes things just happen. I mean, look at we just hit 2 years of COVID. how many people, I mean, I hope it's the lowest amount possible of people who got transplants that didn't make it because they messed around and caught COVID after the fact, right? It's a number of things that can happen in that situation when it comes to the length of time being able to keep these organs. But what you do is, even if it's a short amount of time, you still extended that time that they didn't have in the first place
Right.
to keep
Right.
living and keep doing, and even possibly to get to that organ that's going to keep them going 30, 40, 50 years, after the fact. Like, I give you a clean example. I'm 32 years old, right? Got sick at 4. The whole time I grew up when I was younger, I told myself, if I don't get this transplant or something doesn't happen by 18, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I'm already at 30%. I'm like, nothing could go wrong for me between now and otherwise. If it does, it's a wrap. Um, Luckily, I had the uh, medical staff that I had, the doctors that I had, that immediately noticed, hey, something wrong. Is things are decreasing for them, and into that transplant dialysis part of my life that I needed to go to at that time. Um, got my transplant. And very grateful for the time that I had with it. But I've been on what to almost 12 years now with no kidneys. There's no telling exactly if that would even happen without that first transplant.
Right.
There's no telling how, if I would have had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years after 18, and my numbers could only go this way as opposed to at least staying stable or going upward. So when you give that gift of life, it's not just to say, okay, they're gonna live, another 40, 50, because sometimes things happen,
Yeah.
right? But you still have given that extension of life to this person.
You
Yeah,
know what's
some things
crazy, man? You know what's
mm,
crazy about this whole thing? What we do, what all of us in this space do. The people who help people on dialysis, the doctors. All of us taking our
keep talking,
precious,
keep talking.
all of us taking our precious time, to move the needle in the right direction for all walks of life who need, life saving organs. It's almost surreal that we do this work, and God got you in this space to to do this kind of stuff, because it all pulls at our hearts, whether you're a dialysis nurse, dialysis tech, doctor, whatever. It's still, we talk about the most serious shit in the world. So I look on YouTube, I look on all these other places, and people talking about silly stuff. And I'm not saying it ain't bona fide, it ain't official to them. But we talk about where the rubber meets the road, man. We talk about life and death situations, man. We talk about helping people. We talk about people dying, people we know. We just had a girl who was in our foundation. I've been working with her since I started this game in '07. She needed a kidney and she just passed. The point I'm making is we're in a realm where probably a lot of people couldn't cope with. That's why I can't be mad at nobody who don't want to go back into this world after they get a transplant and nothing like that, or go back to a dialysis center and things like that, because it might be just too real. It might be just too real because what we talk about every day, you and I and all the people in this realm, we talk about people needing transplants. We talk about people dying. We talk about the most serious stuff, man. It's just it can be emotional sometimes when you just talk about, I talk to you every day and I know you need an organ. I was in that same boat. It's crazy what God put on you. And like we got other people in other realms and they talk about nowhere near the severity of what we talk about, what we work on, how, I work with patients, from kidney care coaches. you know, and I'm every time I'm talking to them, I'm telling them stuff that's gonna save their lives. I ain't no doctor, but I'm talking to them stuff that's gonna save their lives. A dialysis tech, he ain't no doctor, she ain't no doctor, but she's telling a person every day stuff that's gonna save your life. That's kind of mind blowing when you look at what I'm saying. When you look at the deepness, the depth of what's going on with what we do,
Right.
it hits home sometimes when you see stuff like that because you go, wow. I'm thankful to be in a position like this. I'm thankful to stick my neck out and say I want to help somebody. Then you look at it like sometimes you be like, little old me, how can I help somebody? How do I get this position to help patients and stuff? Like I don't know, it's crazy because every time I look at my emails, my phone, everything, somebody's calling me with, hey, I need a transplant, this. Hey, my heart, my lungs, you know what I mean? Just not no silly stuff. Not no silly stuff, man. Not no celebrity gossip. We talk about real stuff. I don't know. I'm just off, man. I'm tripping.
No, you good. Right, understand where you coming from. But real quick, before we get off of here, man, on the note of what we are just talking about, I'm gonna tell if you watch it now, watching later, whenever you decide to watch it, take the time, whether it's on Facebook, in person, Instagram, so any type of social media, and message a living donor or donor family, and just tell them thank you. You don't have to be a transplant recipient to do it. Just thank them because um, you know, even even without knowing their story, right? Because their story might not be the family had to make that decision to do it, right? Which is a little bit more deeper, but it could have just been a decision of the donor that passed away that said, "I want to be organ donor," when I die, which is unbelievable to get to that point to say I would save someone's life, but just tell them thank you. You love them. I try to tell as many donors as possible when I talk to them. Thank you. Appreciate the act to be able to save someone's life. You know, excuse me, especially donor family because for that whoever the recipient was, somebody had to go. They as a family had to lose someone that they cared about. Just as dearly as your family cares about you. So take if you can't take that time, again, like I said, just tell them thank you, and you appreciate their act of love and kindness to a recipient. Even if you don't even have to know a recipient to do this. It's just understanding the act in which they made. So I'm done. I hope you all enjoyed those videos and our elaboration on these two videos that we just watched today. It's something very important. We'll touch on it again later. Try not to stuff like that's emotional. I try not to stay connected to it too much because then you get too into it. But so we'll be back on tomorrow morning around the same time. And we'll definitely be talking about something important that needs to be talked about. So come tune in with us in the morning and see what we're talking about. All right, I'll let y'all tomorrow.